In 3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Playback Podcast presented by Car, your weekly podcast featuring America's favorite dancers, hosted by America's favorite road warriors. We are your hosts, Jocelyn, Kristyn, and Madison. Ladies, how are we feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
It's
episode 8.
Yes, mid-season is starting to kind of take its toll because we're out on the road every weekend, and between the jet lag, working in the office, all of that, it's a lot. But at the same time, we're having so much fun. This is the part of the season where I feel like it's just you see the end in sight for finals, and it's just like you're just so looking forward to that.
Totally.
I can see finals. Yeah. I can picture the stage. I can picture Playback Podcast at finals being set up, having our dancers on the podcast. It just gets me so excited to have something new happening at finals and to be there and experience with you guys and see these dancers that we've been following along all year too.
Definitely. So make sure that you guys are registered for our upcoming finals. We're pretty much sold out, I think, across the board, but if you're lucky, you may be able to get in. So it's going to be.
If you're lucky, you can compete against me in the 20 and over division.
The teacher adult division.
Yeah. No teacher, just adult.
Just adult.
Sorry.
Right. Well, where were you guys this weekend? I was in Houston for Ultra this weekend.
Looks so good.
I was in Reno, Nevada for Car. It was wonderful.
And I was in Michigan doing social.
As always.
There
was so much content, I feel like, this weekend. Every time I went on my phone, I feel like all I was seeing was Rainbow, Car, and Ultra.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess the algorithm knows that's that's kind of my niche.
That's
but at the
brand.
same time, like, there was just so much going on. I feel like we're in the peak of our season right now. This is the busiest time of our season. These last couple of weeks of March into April is always crazy, but it's always so much fun. So I'm just going to hop right in because I've been waiting to talk about this. So first off, Ultra Houston was so much fun. We saw a couple performances that we've seen a couple weeks ago prior at other shows, Car and Rainbow. But I was really excited to see these new studios trying out our Ultra competition because it is a little bit different. So this first soloist that I wanted to talk about was from TNT Dance Explosion. Her name was Tara, and go ahead and play back Act 30 Database. So this solo, immediately from the start, I was looking at the judges and they were all just like mesmerized by this performance. She came in and it's the same, I would say, choreography and style that we've been talking about this season with, like, it's that mix of hip hop and contemporary, but then you've got that tumbling and it's just full attack mode. And she was so good. And the fact that it was called Database, it was very much that like computer electricity type of like feel to it. And the fact that she was able to mimic those sounds so well to her body with the music, it was just brought that level of her performance so much higher. And we were all obsessed with it. And the fun thing about it is the Ultra level competition. So that means we're seeing those live scores come up. And so she bumped up to that first place spot and then no one could touch her. And it was just really cool to see her maintain that first overall spot, because every performance that came on, you're like, oh, is she going to beat her out? Is it going to get knocked down? She consistently stayed at that first overall spot, and rightfully so, because she was amazing to watch. It was so much fun to watch her.
Wow.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I really want to see freaking Ultra with that leaderboard. I want to see that so bad. Can you take a video when you're at Ultra?
Yeah.
I want to see.
Yeah. Maybe I'll go live on our Playback Instagram this upcoming weekend, and just so that you guys can see a little bit more of like what a power performance looks like, what the leaderboard looks like. So that's a good idea. I'll do that. That way, if your studio isn't coming to Ultra and you want them to come to Ultra, definitely show them those clips, show them the Ultra Dance Tour Instagram, and really get them wanting to do more. But I will say this dancer, Tara from TNT Dance Explosion, not only did she have amazing style, but she also had incredible technique. And she definitely showcased that when at the award ceremony, we did a really fun turn competition and she won. But then at the later award ceremony, we tried to get someone to challenge her and no one would challenge her. And so I think that just proved that she was like the best turner, I think, at our competition this weekend. And the fact that
Wow.
no other dancers were like, nope, I'm good. She won her title fair and square. It was just so much fun to watch. So amazing job to Tara, TNT Dance Explosion, Tim, everyone there. It was always such a treat to have you guys at our show. And it's just a great, great overall vibe when it comes to Ultra. And I'm excited that all these new studios are getting to test it out and see what it's all about.
I like it.
It looked like so much fun. I'm always jealous when I see your Instagram stories or anything from Ultra just because it's so new and so exciting. I have somebody I want to talk about. It's from Car Sacramento. Can we play back Act 435, New York, New York, a classic song done and performed by an amazing soloist. This soloist actually won our title competition in Vegas last year. She's from Triple Threat. Her name's Isabelle Jones, and she won it with tap. She also won high points, I believe, in Vegas with lyrical. Now, this competition, she came and she won with jazz. So not only is she amazing at tap, lyrical, she also now has one with jazz. And if you watch her solo, your jaw will be on the floor. Her technique, that's all I can say. I mean, everything's perfect. The choreography, the timing, the musicality, the costume, but her technique is what stands out to me the most. If you look at her Alice Cone turns, her leg, obviously you want it to hold there and be flat. It's almost elevated a little bit just because she has so much strength. And it doesn't even phase her. It doesn't bobble. She is so sturdy with every single set of turns, has so much control. You can see she just holds it at the end, goes into another move, goes into another trick, keeps the performance the entire time. I was just blown away. I always am blown away by her performance, but seeing all of this technique, musicality, the upbeat jazz performance put together was phenomenal. So congratulations to her, to Tammy who choreographed it, and to Triple Threat Performing Arts because that was a beautiful solo.
So I was in Reno and I actually got to see one of our convention teachers, Turk, his studio for the first time in years. I think it's been I think my second season working for Car and Rainbow was the last time that I saw them. So it's been about 6 years since I've seen any of his kids. So I want to talk about Act 59, Ha Ha Ha. It was a solo, came out dressed as the Joker. Contacts too, those white kind of contacts.
The scary ones.
Yeah, and it was so insane. His hip hop choreography is fantastic. I mean, if you've been to Car Convention, you know that you're gonna have a great time in his class. He's gonna make you laugh. He's gonna make you have the best time.
And he's going to make you sweat. He's always got that towel that he is just whipping around, hyping up his dancers. But when you're going to Turk's class, you're going to put in work, but you're going to have so much fun. I love watching his classes.
Oh my gosh. The hype from his classes is unreal. So this solo Ha 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 was absolutely unreal, just from the costume with the contacts down to the choreography. He really crushed it. His name was Jacoby Monteiro. And it's Cast Academy of the Arts. They're fantastic. And I mean, they're in Northern California, Bay Area. Hip hop dancers are out of this world. Yeah. And I saw a lot of good hip hop routines, and that was probably hands down my favorite hip hop soloist of the weekend. Kudos to Cast Academy of the Arts and Turk. He's one of our convention teachers. If you haven't taken class from him, you need to. So sign up for Car Convention this fall. He's fantastic.
Definitely. We got some good convention teachers. I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm not even on convention every weekend, but I'm excited. I'm definitely going to go and make a little appearance.
Convention. It's just great.
Yeah.
Good vibes. Good times.
Okay. I want to talk about this group that just, again, good vibes. So this was Act 131, Castle on the Hill from Elite Dance Academy. This was actually one of our power performances. So one of our judges, Ryan Alvarez, chose this as a power performance because it was so refreshing. The second that it started, she even made the comment during her commentary of it felt like you were just watching four best friends kind of just frolic up on the stage. It was so the choreography was, I don't want to say simple, but it was intricate in certain ways, but also they took those moments to just feel alive on the stage. So it's not like every single piece of choreography was this technical element. I really liked how they used a lot of the song, and it was that Castle on a Hill song. So it's just, it has that good energy to it already. But the four dancers that were in this performance, and I have to give a little shout out to their the like blonde kid dancer. He did a solo as well. And I just feel like he really knows how to sit in the pockets of that music and enjoy what he's doing on the stage. But all four of them together, just their playfulness on stage with one another. And you could tell they were really enjoying what they were doing. And the choreography let them have that moment as well. So it was just overall a great performance. I loved all of the choreography from Elite Dance Academy was, I think, so different from everything else that we were seeing over the weekend. So it just makes it stand out that much more. So awesome job to those amazing dancers, the choreographers, everyone at Elite Dance Academy. It was so nice and refreshing to see that choreography up on the stage because it definitely stands out in comparison to a lot of our competition routines that you're used to seeing. So awesome job. The artistry, the passion behind it. Awesome job.
I love that.
I have another pick. This is from Rainbow San Antonio. If we could play back Act 169, My Tears Are Becoming the Sea. Now, I don't know if you remember this song from TikTok. It was trend. Yeah. I mean, like, song alone puts me in my feels. I could cry.
Yeah.
This dancer from Illusions Dance Center. No, like no words. Literally no words. She made our MC cry. They sent it in the group chat right away. I stopped what I was doing, watched it, and I started crying too. She just matches the song perfectly because the song is so powerful yet delicate, I feel like. And she is too. Her athletic ability, if you watch the video I posted on Instagram and TikTok, which she's also our social media pick of the week, she blew up on TikTok.
Wow.
The beginning, her athletic ability just to do those moves right away is insane. But the way the movement carries throughout the rest of it is just perfection. I don't remember who said this, but Nurga, you said it, I think, on our first episode. It was somebody, one of the choreographers at the DAC event we had. They said, whatever you're doing with your body, do the opposite. And that's what you should be doing, right? Who said that?
Molly Gray. She was saying that, like, for example, when you do a leap, automatically your body thinks it wants to come down. So like what's something that's going to challenge that? And so instead of like jumping down and falling to the ground, she does a leg or something to like counterbalance her weight or something like that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was great advice. And if they're starting to implement that, I think that's great.
That's exactly what happens, especially in the clip I posted. You would think she's going right, but she's going left. When you think she's going up, she's going down. And it goes together so perfectly. It just doesn't ever end. It was amazing. Phenomenal. I'm obsessed with it. The choreography was great. The dancer was great. I had no words. I cried. And then I found all these words. She was just amazing. And I will watch that over and over and over again.
I feel like we should take a tally on the side of the screen, like every time we cry during the weekends. And not because like we're sad, but because a dance like literally moves us to tears.
No,
you know?
literally because we have different group chats for different positions. And one of them is like our MC group chat. And one of our MCs, Jordan Waddell, posted in our group chat. And she was like, you know, when you see the two sisters with like an older sister and a younger sister and they do a duet, I will never not cry when I'm watching that because it's so sweet. And I love when I get to see like family members on stage together. Like that will always make me cry.
Or when you see them bring out, I saw a TikTok about this like this morning actually, and I wanted to talk about it, but when it's like a judge judging a routine and they're like, the moment they bring out a framed photo and you're just like,
done. Our group chat actually brought you up. Our media girl was like, I feel like everybody every week, their MCs just say that they cried so that I'll pull it so they can post it on social media because last week in Nurka kept saying she was crying too. And I was like, no, the tears are just real.
They're real.
Yeah.
They're real.
They're real.
All right. I didn't cry during this one, but
you didn't cry during ha ha ha?
No, I didn't. It was just exciting. But this one is actually Act 368, Work It Out from DNA Dance Collective. They won first overall Elite Duet Trio ages 15 to 19. And I got to give a little bit of backstory for this one because one of the dancers, her name is Kylie. And I think the last time I saw her dancing was like 5 years ago at Anaheim Nationals. And I actually made friends with her mom because she was picking my brain about the LA dance industry. And so I was chatting with her about it because actually like a project that I worked on just came out during that Anaheim National. So we were talking about it and stuff. And she actually messaged me 2 days before I left for Reno. And she was like, hey, are you going to be in Reno by chance? And I was like, actually, I am. And she was like, oh my God, Kylie's going to be so excited. So I was excited to see her routines because I haven't seen her in so long. She had this trio and it was insane. All of their hip hop performances were absolutely absurd, but this one was probably one of my favorites because I feel like it's very rare to see a duet trio as solid as this one was. And I mean, the score spoke for itself because they won first overall. And there were quite a few duet trios in that category. So the fact that a hip hop routine won first overall, it was so clean, it was so crisp. And I wish I could look like that. Like, when you see a good hip hop routine and you're just like, wow, I wish I could look like that. Like the one that we talked about from Nashville, the group routine from the workplace.
Oh, yes.
Like they
Good
make it
ones.
look so easy. And I'm like, dang, I would be back corner.
That's fair.
I would just be out of breath. Like, that's the thing. Like, the stamina to go through a full hip hop routine with all that energy, performance, hype.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like they use that Kanye song, Work It Out or whatever. That one's a classic.
Good
I
one.
was like, dang, good song. I
Good
love
one.
that. But anyways, kudos to them. DNA Dance Collective. Their hip hop routines were
So good.
so good.
I had a fire trio at my Houston Ultra show
Okay.
that I was excited to see because I've seen it before at Carr Stafford. But they won first overall from Republic Edge Dance. Go ahead and play back act 80 Kaylani.
Ooh, Kaylani?
It's the girls that you guys probably remember me talking about their solos a couple weeks ago, but their trio came out and just destroyed. It was Kylie, Gianni, and Bo. These three girls are from Republic Edge, and they individually are stars, but when you throw these three together, oh my gosh.
stupid.
Ryan Alvarez, one of our judges this weekend, hit that power performance for them because she even said that the second they started, she was like, this is a girl gang that I want to be a part of. Like their style that they have and their confidence on stage and the way they play off of each other, like they're able to have that like really cool vibe to them, but at the same time they're like playful with each other at the same time. So entertaining, so beast mode. Like they're so equally, like individually, so talented, but when you throw them all together, they're just a powerhouse. And I just love watching them. Choreographer Christina, it's just all around. I always look forward to seeing these girls. And I will just say, one of my favorite things about having Republic Edge at my shows is those teachers, and especially Lorenzo, is sitting in that audience cheering for every single performance. When he sees someone else from another studio up on stage, he's giving that clap. He's giving that beautiful, that encouragement throughout the performance that you're used to hearing their own teachers do. He's doing that for across the board, and he doesn't care who's on stage. And equally, I feel like the dancers the same way. Backstage, they're always congratulating. I just really like the energy when a studio that most of the time is winning, they don't have that like entitled energy about them. They're always looking to encourage those other dancers. And sometimes they do get beat out depending on which studios are there for the weekend. So also having that like humbleness of, not always the best wins, but also sometimes different judges are going to like different things. And the fact that, yes, it's a competition, but they can go there and enjoy it for what it is. And it's not just about winning first overall every single time. However, they do win first overall quite a lot. So like congrats to those dancers. But I just always look forward to having them at my shows. It's always just good entertainment, but also just good vibes.
I love that.
I feel like they're one of my I haven't met them in person, but I feel like I have because I've followed them on Instagram. I followed them at each of their shows. Even when I saw that they were at Ultra, I was immediately jealous. But I feel like they're one of my favorite discoveries of this year. I just didn't know about their studio before this year. And ever since they were at that first, I don't know if it was Rainbow or Carr in Houston, I've been obsessed. Since you sent me Gianna's her name, right?
Gianni,
since you sent me her solo, I've been obsessed with the studio. But as I've been learning more and more, and as you brag about them every single time and how amazing of a studio they are, like humble, respectful, kind, talented. I've become a huge fan of them this season as well.
Yeah,
their teacher is one of our judges too. I forget which show she judged for us. Was it St. Louis? I forget, but she was one of my judge ones
Yeah.
one weekend, and she's fantastic as a choreographer teacher.
Yeah.
And even more fantastic as a judge.
Yeah. Christina, Alicia, Lorenzo, Carly, like everyone there is just so incredible. I'm just a fan, honestly. Like I tell everyone about them because I'm just a fan. I always look forward to it. I love when I can fangirl over studios.
Me too. It's the best.
I have another soloist that I was a huge fan of this week, and I actually posted her on our car Instagram. If we could play back Act 13 from Redondo Beach, Another One Bites the Dust.
Ooh.
And there's so much to say about her, but the thing I want to point out, her walk-on was part of the beginning of her routine. She started off stage.
I love that.
Y'all, on her tippy toes, strutted in. Strutted. I don't care what you were doing. I don't care if you were sending the most important text of your life. You were stopping, picking your head up, and watching the rest of the routine, which was also amazing. Her flexibility was amazing. The choreography was amazing, but just that strut on captivated. The entire audience captivated me from my phone alone. I mean, that's not even in person. She was just so amazing, had so much confidence. And the thing I loved was her focus, the entire routine. She did not lose focus of her audience, her judges. It was a performance for them. And she just executed that so well and delivered in every single second of the routine. This also kind of like with Tammy's choreography, this choreography really elevated the dancer, I believe, with the music. She really choreographed to the dancer's strengths and really choreographed that musicality just perfectly and spot on for moments that you wouldn't really notice or think to choreograph before, but she it was perfect. I loved it. Loved the routine, watched it over and over again from Aurora Monroe School of Dance. Another One Bites the Dust.
Yes.
Great. Beautiful. Loved it. Obsessed.
You have another one?
I do. I have one more.
Let's do it.
So funny story about this one. It was actually an add-on at our competition. So it was the last act of the weekend from Forever Dance Lake Tahoe is Act 407 Run. Dancer Branna Tedford. I mean, I couldn't have picked a better routine to end the weekend with.
Aww.
She came out with such power and attack for that song, and it was that Run Boy Run song. So you know that it's like really intense. She pulled out all the stops, like flipping across the stage. It was an open performance, so she did a lot of tumbling across the stage. It was magnificent. Enough, like the end of the show is always a little bit intense for Tally because we're closing everything out. We have so many special awards to announce at that last award. So it's just really getting everything together. So the fact that I watched that entire routine says something. She really came out with a lot of power and attack, that beast mode that we talked about on the first episode. Like she brought that to the stage and it was absolutely incredible to watch. She was an elite dancer. I believe it might be her senior year. And the fact that she has that as her solo for her senior year, it was awesome. I really enjoyed watching it.
Yeah.
I have one more, and it's a group of all seniors. I believe they were all seniors, but they were in that older division, and it's from a Rainbow, Long Island. If we can play back Act 142, Woman's Work from North Shore Dance. And this is another song that we see every week. Gets me every time. But the choreography for this had its own fresh take on it. It was beautiful. These dancers danced great together. There weren't a lot of big group choreography moments, which I really liked because it wasn't just these two doing this one and these three doing this choreography. It was really mixed well together, breaking off, going back in. One of my favorite things about this routine, actually, I have two. One of my favorites was we talked about lifts, I believe, last week. They lifted their fellow dancer up in the air, and their two girls in the back followed all the way through to the ground with her until both of her feet were on the ground and she was fully stable. Then they went to their next move. And I just wanted to point that out. If you want to watch that here, it was done so properly. If that was my daughter in the air, I would feel very, very safe with her doing that trick. So I just wanted to give them kudos for that because it's really easy to ignore the end of that lift and go into that next part. Number two, their lines and jumps were beautiful. Their jumps were so powerful, so high. Their lines were so great in them, but they landed light as a feather on every single one. And it was a big group doing jumps, so that can be loud. Not at all. So graceful. That song is so quiet too, so delicate. They matched it perfectly. Lines perfect. They danced together great. I loved them together. And I love a classic, good, lyrical, beautiful, classy costume. And that's exactly what it was, to that perfect, classy song. And it just gets me every time. And I loved it and watched it over and over again, too. So shout out to North Shore Dance for that amazing routine. Nate, did you have any other picks? I know you said that you had a couple that stood out to you this weekend.
The one that I do want to talk about is Tappin' Tabs.
Ooh, it was her finale.
What? Someone explain. Fill me in.
Oh my God. Okay.
So Tappin' Tabs is this amazing tapper from Triple Threat.
Yes.
But the thing is that for social media purposes, tap doesn't always translate over to how good it is in person.
Mm-hmm.
And I always feel bad because in person it's amazing, especially her. Like literally, her name is just Tappin' Tabs. That's like literally just her name.
That's how we know her.
And but this one, her final video, it does translate over. So
yes.
Is she the one you posted on Instagram?
Tabitha, I've loved watching her for years, and she's always done an acapella solo, and it's always been called Tappin' Tabs. But I remember when she did like Tappin' Tabs 1, Tappin' Tabs 2, Tappin' Tabs 3. Like, what number is this? 6?
It's her
the finale.
Finale.
So beautiful.
Okay, how have I missed this?
I don't know, because I'm like one of her biggest fans.
She really
From Triple Threat?
Yes, I talk about her all the time. Like, remember I told you about the story when we were at Vegas finals and she didn't win title, and I was so bummed because she did a beautiful solo to Piano Man.
Yes.
So she always does like a Tappin' Tabs acapella, but then she'll do like one to a song as well, and she did it to Piano Man. And I thought it was so good, and she didn't win, and I was so bummed.
Yeah,
and then the next day was the actual segment for that age division, and she won first overall. And when I tell you, I was sitting there sobbing, like I was like playing the drum roll, and I knew that she was gonna win. And I was like watching for all of their reactions, and then I played her song, and they all started screaming and crying, and I was just like. It was so good. One of my favorite moments.
Like, we watch some of these dancers grow up on the Car and Rainbow stage, and she's one of them that we've seen grow.
Mm-hmm.
And I just watched her solo upstairs.
Yeah, we were watching it
because we were like, we have to watch it. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't even know I was going to talk about it.
I had no idea.
We were just watching it. That's how.
I'm going to go stalk her after this.
Like, the fact that I made
So
I was printing the Sacramento show last weekend for the bag to go with the staff to the show. And I was reading all the studios that were attending. And then I started a group chat with the tallier and the MC. And I made a long list of all the routines that I wanted them to give me feedback about from all these different studios. And I was like, please let me know how the following routines do. And they were like, Nurka, you sent like 50. And I was like, sorry.
Yeah, it's true. I love watching them. And that just goes to show, like, Tammy from Triple Threat, she knows what she's doing with these tappers, because the fact that she's consistently working with them from the time that they are itty bitty all the way through their senior year, and let me just say, if you do an a cappella solo for tap, you have to have every single sound crisp and clean, because there's no music to hide behind. It's just you and your taps on stage. Ooh. And I'm just very excited for when Triple Threat heads to the Ultra Dance tour.
I was about to say that. So I'm going to get to see her.
You guys want to watch it right now?
Yes.
It makes me sad that it's the finale. Listen to her pace.
Everything's so...
Get it. Hey.
Turn down.
Confidence in the face too. I love good clean arms too during a scene.
The fact that there's no tap mics right now, but everything is this loud and crisp and clear.
Screams them so solid on me. You hear every sound.
Stupid.
Wow. But that's what I'm saying. She picks up her pace and slows it down to her, like, you know what I mean? Just to make it work in her favor. And to add that extra layering and texture.
Oh my God, she's probably tapping so hard.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that it is this loud, and I know I just said it, but crisp and clean, and there is not a tap mic on stage.
No. And that just goes to show the entire audience is silent watching this.
And our video camera's not at the very end of the stage. It's pretty far back in that audience.
Yeah. Here we go.
Oh,
Hey.
get it.
It's always the turns with taps that make me nervous. I'm like, are they going to slip?
But look at her focus too. She's so confident in every single thing that she does, and she knows exactly what judge she's looking at for every move too.
Mm-hmm. Big finish.
Hey, love it.
Oh my!
We love it. We love it.
Wow. Any other ones? Can we keep watching?
Right?
Bring her back out.
I actually wanted to talk about our weekend at Ultra. We had a really fun weekend we're trying out all these new different things when it comes to Dancers Against Cancer. And one thing that we started was this 50-50 raffle. So essentially, throughout the day, we have people donating at merchandise, or we have our link online, and we do a raffle at that last big group awards. So we did it. We ended up raising, I think it was like $310 that we raised, which is pretty good considering it was our first weekend just rolling it out and seeing how it goes. And so, donate $20, you get 20 tickets back, whatever it may be. And we had someone take home $155. Wow. So it's really fun. You get to donate to DAC. The more that you donate, the more that you can win. So the people that are donating actually have something to, not only are they happy because they're helping out this cause, but also they have the chance to win cash themselves, which is really fun. So we're going to be doing it every single weekend at Ultra. We did one drawing on Saturday, one drawing on Sunday. We're going to kind of see what we think is best because I want to make it, as big as possible. So our goal is to try to hit $2,000 every single weekend. And I think that for sure throughout these next couple of weeks, we're going to be able to hit that. Totally. Especially the more that we talk about it, the more that you guys are aware, if you're coming to an Ultra show, to keep that in mind. It's just a really fun thing. And we actually had our junior ambassador, Miss Reagan from Republic Edge, there with us this weekend, and she helped us do the raffle tickets and everything like that. She had so much fun with it as well. And we also had her do the DAC Dance of the Month on stage, which is the Scoop Challenge. All the dancers looked so good doing it. Yes, it was so good. Such a fun choreography. And actually, our other junior ambassador, Everly, was at our Car San Gabriel show. She did it on stage as well. So we're just getting to have so much fun with these dance choreography challenges. We're going to have a new one dropping for April that is going to be a little bit more on the sassy side. So these past two have been like fire choreography by Jimmy Love. Like they're just eating this choreography, but I was like, I want to do something a little bit different and do more of like a sassy combination. So you guys have that to look forward to. We're really excited about that. And we're just excited for all the new different things that we're testing out with Dancers Against Cancer this year, especially adding Ultra to our partnership. It's going to be so much fun.
So Jocelyn, I think you can help me explain this. I do want to give a shout out to a studio because we try to mention all of our studios at every awards. They have the option, and correct me if I'm wrong here, they have the option to donate their trophies. And so instead of trophies and getting those, the donations actually go to DAC. And we had a lovely studio in Long Island, New York, Carolyn's Dance Center. And they donated all of their trophies, and we did not get the opportunity to give them a shout out. So we do want to say thank you so much because I know that does make a big difference. I don't know if you want to explain a little bit about how that works and how studios who might not know about that, what they can do or how they go about donating their trophies.
Definitely. So we have that as an opportunity for Car, Rainbow, and now Ultra as well. So essentially all you have to do as a studio owner is to go into your studio center and you'll just go ahead and click that trophy opt out. It's literally just a check mark. All you got to do is check it. And then from there, that lets our backstage coordinators and our awards team know that you as a studio have opted out. Essentially, that just is saving the money that we would use to send out those awards to back into Dancers Against Cancer. So it's a really easy way to save, especially for the reason of Car, Ultra. All of our competitions give out one award for a group performance and for a duet trio. So obviously for soloists, we'll give you your award no matter what, because it's just you. But this is something that studio owners like to do because sometimes you get that award and you're like, okay, well, I have 17 dancers. Do I want to choose one to give it to, or do I want to display it in my studio, or do I just want to go ahead and donate it back to Dancers Against Cancer? So it's an amazing program that we have. It's always appreciated when our studios go ahead and opt out. And I want to give you guys some numbers because it really does make a difference. So last year, 2021 alone, for Rainbow, through the Trophy Opt-Out program, we raised $36,372. That's just from Rainbow.
Wow.
And then for CAR, we raised $60,309. So essentially all that is just studio directors opting out to give that donation money essentially back to Dancers Against Cancer. And as you can see with these numbers, it really does make a difference. So maybe you're a studio that you want to be involved in DAC, but you don't necessarily think that you can commit to a $1,000 annual donation, which is our Hope Studio program. That's totally okay. You guys are more than welcome to do our Trophy Opt-Out program, which is equally as appreciated.
Also, I know that sometimes studio owners don't want to take back, not in a bad way, but sometimes the trophy is just going to collect dust on the shelf. And if your child really does want a trophy, you can go purchase one. You can purchase one and you can get it for them. There's no fight. It's no, oh, it was the team's trophy. It was this person's. If your child or dancer really wants one, they can still get one. And it allows that to become the parent's decision and the dancer's decision. So I think it's kind of just a great thing to say, we donated them.
Definitely. I think it makes it easy and it's for a great cause.
Mm-hmm. All right. Do we have a judge's pick from this weekend?
I think so. Which one? The Temptations, right?
That's you, girl. I didn't get the judge's pick. It's all you.
Well, so actually, it's a fun way of talking about this judge's pick. My roommate, Julianne Westbrook, she teaches at Downey Dance Center. She got to judge it at CAR Sacramento this weekend, and she was really excited because the talent in Northern California is just insane. It's actually a triple threat pick. The Temptations. I don't remember which act number it is. I don't have it pulled up. I'm so sorry.
Fired.
The Temptations. I know I'm fired. Sorry. She actually had like 7 picks, but she narrowed it down last night to the Temptations from Triple Threat Performing Arts. Another Tammy fave, tap routine. Insane. I watched it this morning and it's undeniable. Tap, it reads well when you're there. Obviously on video, it's not necessarily the same, so it's hard to post on social media. But that group of tappers is absolutely, they're insane. I wish I had that much dedication to tap when I was growing up because wow, they had on those jackets, the like gold sequin jackets, and they came on the stage and they were just crushing it. Same like Tabitha, like the stomping on the feet, making sure that you hear the sounds over the music.
That's even more difficult as a group though, because like I was talking about Tabitha's pace and her timing of everything. She's slowing it down. She's speeding it up. That's very difficult to do as a group because essentially like if she's on stage and she's doing a solo, she can kind of pick and choose her pace depending on how tired she is or whatever. Obviously she has it set, but she can kind of wiggle around with it and judges aren't going to know. But if one person is off in a group tap routine, let alone an a cappella group routine, like
done.
So because you hear it. It's so crisp and clear that if one sound is off, you're going to notice it. So just kudos to them. I'm excited to see that number because I've heard a lot of great things about that number.
We're going to start posting more tap. Let's make it our job to post more tap, but as a dance community, let's hype it up more. Let's make sure those numbers are matching the turn videos. I know the turn videos are exciting to see, but the same amount of technique goes into those tap videos. So let's make it an effort for all of us to hype it up.
Those tappers still turn. Like when you're seeing
but there's things that they do that are harder than turns that we might not know if you're not a tapper, and I want to post those so they get credit for it. But let's all work to hype those tappers up as much as we hype the other dancers up.
I've got like a couple tap numbers off the top of my head that I can think about, like a couple of Michelle Miner's routines from Norris. There's so many good tappers across the country, and I feel like they don't get enough love. So we're gonna start hyping them up more because I love a good tap.
I'll say it again. Lily from Karen's School of Dance. She's the one tapper this year that has soared. And I've had her pinned on our TikTok forever because everybody on there was like, I don't know tap, but this is entertaining. So I want to keep pushing it so other people have the opportunity for that. All right. I posted on our social media if anybody has questions for us, and we have a lot of questions. Our first one is from Maya X MYAX Brielle. And she said, what are some tips for a jazz solo? I have one. My tip for a jazz solo is it's a little bit harder to get through stamina wise, just because it's a little bit more upbeat. And I know this sounds horrible and not fun to do, but it makes the biggest difference. Every time you are practicing your jazz solo, do it 3 times in a row, back to back. Do your solo. Once you hit that ending pose, go again. Do your solo again. Do it 3 times. That way, when you're on stage, you're not worrying about catching your breath. You're able to enjoy your performance. And at the end of the dance, you should be able to hold that ending pose and sit there and say, I could do that again right now. Definitely. And that way, you're not worrying about, oh, am I going to be able to get off the stage? I'm so out of breath. I couldn't do my turn section because I just couldn't keep my stamina up. If you can do it 3 times in a row, you're able to put 150% into it whenever you do perform that at competition.
Definitely.
That's my tip for that.
I agree. And then you can like run off after, because how many times I'm down at MC and I see someone kill their solo and they bow and they walk off. The second they're in the wings, they just drop and they're just like dead because they're so tired.
Yes.
But it's true. Like that 2.5 minutes when you're on stage and you're giving it your all, it seems way longer than 2.5 minutes. But I agree. That's a great one. I also think that because jazz is very much that performance element, I think you need to not necessarily choreograph your facials, but rehearse with your facials. Because I hate it when I'm so into a routine and they're killing it with their facials and everything. And then the second they go to prep into a turn, they just lose it. And they're just like focused and they don't have any performance quality. And then they get through whatever trick it is. And then they start to like have that personality again. Really make sure that you are not losing that during those more technical elements. I know that you're focused and you want to make sure that you don't mess up, but it takes the audience away from your performance the second that you lose that face, because it's almost breaking the fourth wall. Like we're watching you and we're seeing this performer, and then the second that we realize, oh, they're focused and they're having to think about what they're doing, it kind of removes us from that performance. So that would be my tip, is just really rehearse with facials. I'm not saying you have to choreograph it and hit a wink on every single, the same part every time, but make sure that you're practicing with those facials. And I always used to smile during my turns. So like I was focused, but I would be like this. So at least it looks like I'm doing something with my face, even though I'm really focused and that's just my go-to turning face. That way you're not like, I you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just,
I have my dancers choreograph their facials into it, because I feel like the adrenaline gets going, especially with those younger ones. You just forget. But if it's part of the choreography, it becomes muscle memory, and then you don't have to worry about doing it. It's just when you hear that music, it's part of what you do every single time. I think that's super important.
Yeah,
1000%.
We have another question from PAO_X.N, and it says, have you had a perfect score performance in 2022 yet?
Not that I've seen. I've seen a performance come very close to it, and we talked about it last week. Falling.
Speaking of that,
whoa,
this message is for Big City Dance Center, because I looked on the schedule to see if they were ever going to anything Car Rainbow Ultra, because I wanted to go film at that show. Ultra's coming to, where are they, in Detroit? No, where is that studio?
Detroit.
Woo woo!
Ultra's coming to Detroit. So
please
come to Ultra and bring some group dances, and I will go and I will film them from the front.
He wants to so bad. The text that we received yesterday from Nate, was it?
He watched it 3 times.
He was like, can you please look and see if they're attending? Oh, wait, no, I just looked and they're not. So we need to figure out how we can get them to attend.
So yeah, we're just doing it this way. Well,
and Nate doesn't say that about anybody.
No,
that's a huge deal. It's a huge deal.
So please go to Ultra Detroit.
You guys will get some good footage from Nate.
I'll be there. I want to cry. Please make me cry. I want to see falling so bad.
This is phase 1. Ask on the podcast.
PSA.
Phase 2. Have everyone comment on their post.
Yeah.
We have another question. This is from Dazzling Deanna, DEA, and it says, how do you know if you won a photogenic award?
We do announce our photogenic award winners at our last group awards, usually on Sunday. If Sunday's the last day of competition, it's usually that last group awards before we get into the high point awards. So if you are not attending that group awards, if you happen to be home, your dance teacher will know, because it'll be in their studio center.
It's also posted
Yeah.
on our awards page
Yes.
towards maybe I think on Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, where you go
Yeah.
to see all the overalls and everything for
All
your
those
results,
results.
you'll see that.
Our last question is from Caitlin, THIBODEAU_.
Okay.
Not going to sound that out. And it says, how is Dancer of the Year or the title award different from first overall? I'll let y'all
Okay.
take this away.
So it's a completely different score sheet than your normal score sheet. So I actually pulled up our rules and whatnot. So that I
Title
can
is
see-
different than your normal. First overall is the normal score sheet.
Yes.
High points. Title is what is separate if people are confused.
Yes. Title and Dancer of the Year are totally different. So they're evaluated on the following judging elements: technique, which is 30 points total; overall entertainment value, which is 25 points total; stage presence, which is 20 points; execution of choreography, which is 15; and costume, which is 10. So there's a maximum of 100 points per judge for a total of 300 points. And those title scores are determined at the same time as the solo performance. So on the judges' screen, they have the main score sheet, which is the same for every single performance. And then they also have a tab that they have to click on, which is title or Dancer of the Year. So it's completely different. And then if they are in those runner-up positions or they win title at their regional event, they're eligible then to compete at nationals.
And you can sign up. It's really easy. You can pre-register through your parent account or you can sign up at the event. So all you have to do is go on to your parent center, either Car Rainbow, and all you have to do is just submit the registration. And then we as MCs, talliers, directors, we get all those texts and it just says Act 62, Broadway Banana, signed up for DOI. And then we just plug it in and then we're good to go. So it's super easy. I'm loving the new system. Why? Whose car is that?
Maybe they're trying to steal that gas right now.
I feel that.
Good one, Dad. Good one.
No, it's real. Apparently.
No, it's true.
We're excited to see y'all this next weekend. Make sure to follow us on social media. We're going to be posting a lot more on our TikToks, and we'll go. I think Jocelyn's going to go live on our Playback.
Yes. For that ultra level competition, we're going to be going live so that you guys can see what that live scores system is looking like, those power performances, and just so that you guys can see what ultra is all about. I know you've been seeing all the dances, but I want you guys to see just the vibe of it because it's so fun and different.
Can you please tell me when you're about to go live so that I
Yes.
can tune in?
Yes. All right, guys. As always, make sure you're following us on everything Ultra Car, DAC, Rainbow. As always, make sure you're following at Playback Podcast. We're going to be going live. Very excited. We've got a lot of fun stuff planned for this upcoming couple weeks. We're halfway through this season at this point. So I feel like now it's just getting through the rest of the season and getting to see all these amazing performances.
Yes.
As always, make sure you say hi if we're at one of your shows. We would love to meet you guys. And also make sure that you guys are tagging us in any performances that you guys want us to talk about. Know that act number and that title. And ideally, if you guys can let us know who choreographed it, we want to make sure that we're really giving the recognition to these choreographers. I know it kind of seems like we're like focused so much on the dancer, and it really does pay a lot of respect to that choreographer and those teachers. So make sure that you guys are giving us that information as well. As always, thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you on the road. Bye.
We did it.
Bada bing, bada boom.